What are they going to do in the offensive line? Are we just going to do the same guys as last week? I mean,
Well, that would be the hope. The problem is Nseki's hurt. So Nseki has a knee injury. So it'll be Trent at left tackle and then Chase at center. Bowenko will be one of the guards and then Moses at right tackle. But then it's a matter of, is it Nseki? Is it Bergstrom? Is it Zach Kieran, who they brought in? Kyle Fuller, who they brought in off the Texans practice squad? Austin Howard is banged up and looked really banged up when he was walking around the locker room the other day. He's played a little bit of guard but was terrible at it. But also if Nseki and Howard are hurt, then you don't have a swing tackle. So they might have to bring someone else up off the practice squad and cut one of those guys. I would assume Howard or IR Nseki. So they probably got roster moves to make today before they get on the plane too. And they're running out of spots, we're trying to keep Jordan and Colt and all these guys up. They're going to have to figure out exactly what to do to either IR someone or cut someone to make room if they need to bring up extra players.
We talked about it, that they tried to run some read option there with Byron Marshall and Chris Thompson in the backfield. Do you expect to see more of that? Because it didn't work, and they moved away from that, but maybe they've tried again?
Yeah, I think they will. I think they like that package. It just didn't work against Jacksonville because Calais Campbell and those defensive tackles were really just working the inner linemen of the Redskins, and it's Calais Campbell. He's really good, and the other guys that they have are really good. And not that Tennessee's bad, but it's a different kind of front the way they attack. So I feel like they probably will try that stuff again. And at the end of the day, this is a sport where you want to get your playmakers on the field. You want to get the guys who are actually good at carrying the football, and to get as many of them on the field as possible at once seems like the smart idea. So to get CT and Byron and Adrian or whoever on the field at the same time, I think is the right move.
Were they reasonably happy with the long snapper? He's getting a lot of attention because he married the gymnast, but I mean, how did he actually perform?
Yeah, I asked Jay that the other day, and he's like, yeah, he snapped it. I'm like, well, that's good review, Jay. I mean, it's definitely not the same as Nick Sundberg. And when all you've ever seen in your life is Nick Sundberg, which, my time here, 4 seasons now covering the Redskins, all I've seen is Sundberg, it's pretty jarring but I just didn't realize how good Sundberg was, I think. And the thing that you're really paying attention to is not accuracy. Every long snapper is pretty much accurate at this level. You're not going to see a ton of bad snaps. But the velocity with which Sundberg snaps it helps them out a ton. It takes punt blocks and field goal blocks out of the equation in a way that a slower snapper puts back in. This is a game where 0.2 of a second matters a lot. And so you saw it last week where there was one blocked. There's also, on the punt return, Andrew East, who's the long snapper, got in the middle of, and it wasn't anyone's fault. It's just it was a football follies moment where 3 guys fall down. J.U. Chesson gets blocked into Andrew East, who gets blocked into Shazer Everett, and all of a sudden they got a punt return touchdown. So they were generally happy. Yeah, he's been good to have around the building. I think people like him, and he did a good enough job, but he's definitely not Nick Sundberg.
Right. All right. Thank you, Craig. Appreciate it, buddy.
You got it. See you guys. Merry
All
Christmas.
Right. Yep, you too, man. Whew. I'm just trying to stay optimistic. Listen, I know they'll probably let us down. They're not very good, but whatever. I don't think the guys that we're missing are that great.
I agree
They had
with your
great years.
assessment. When you're talking about somebody who, let's just say, you rate receivers on a scale of 1 to 10. So when you're talking to somebody who's a 5, like Mo Harris or Josh Doxson, the drop off to whoever they're going to it's not. Right. You're not dropping off from Julio Jones or DeAndre Hopkins. You're talking about missing guys who we generally complain about.
Yeah,
if they miss
all
Josh
we said
Doxson,
is that they don't have weapons.
Right.
Well, if we're missing one of them don't have weapons, what's the big deal? You're going to replace him with another don't have weapon.
Now, I do think the Vernon Davis one is pretty big because you've got no Jordan Reed.
Yeah.
He is their most explosive guy statistically. Yards per catch, 14.6 yards per catch. But I'll say this about Vernon Davis, and we had him on the show. He's a great guy, and he's had an unbelievable career, and he's a freak athletically. Kind of had butterfingers this year.
Yeah,
he's been somewhat disappointing this year in my mind.
Yeah, it's true.
He's made some big plays, but he's missed on some big plays. So, again, that goes to you, what's the big drop-off?
Yeah.
If Vernon Davis was giving you 3 catches for 40 yards and you're going to Sprinkle, who gave you 3 for 19, okay. Yeah, you lost 20 yards, but it's not the end of the world.
No. They haven't been explosive all year, other than maybe Vernon. So, listen,
and by the way, to call Josh Johnson the 4th-string quarterback, really, He's the fourth quarterback they've used, but he's equal to Mark Sanchez. You know what I mean? Like to
I actually
say
think he's better
the
than
fourth
him.
string.
Well, he's actually better than him.
Yeah,
Now.
He's the third guy.
Okay, whatever. But he's been the fourth one they've used.
I know, but it kind of irks me because there are teams that have gone to the third stringer or the third guy.
Okay, but are there teams that have gone to their fourth?
No, but that's just because Sanchez was awful.
Okay. I mean, you can't
Just
minimize.
nitpicking.
Yeah, you are nitpicking. I mean, this is their fourth quarterback. It is what it is. But I like him. I mean, I don't think he's great, but I like him. I like his heart. I like that he's humble. I like that he's trying to seize the opportunity. I like that he knows this is an incredible opportunity. I love his story. I love everything about the guy.
Look, I hope he performs admirably. I root for him. I kind of feel like he might have a heavy turnover game.
He could.
He had a pick in the first game when he played, half.
Everybody
or less
throws
than a half.
interceptions. He's
Understand that.
He's liable to throw one.
He was fortunate last week.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll see what happens against the Tennessee Titans.
He's going to have to really, really pay attention to protecting the football.